Today we will visit an oyster culturing farm. You already studied about pearl oysters and how biologically the pearl will form and how we will culture the pearl oyster. You already studied about that. Today we will see how it works. But practically it is little bit different. What you studied is little bit different, but the basics is same. Every practitioner or every farmer have their own trademark or their own method. Some additional things are there, so but the basics are same. You can see this is the farm. You can see so many raft are there. Under the raft there are so many suspended ropes are there, and in this rope there are so many oysters. This is the entire processing center. These are hatcheries. You already studied about hatcheries. Small larval form is developed inside these tanks. After fertilization, the larval form is reared in these tanks. You can see small larval form. And this larval form, they are free swimming and they are feed on the small algae. These are unicellular algae. He feed. Okay, then this larval form attached to the substratum, you already saw that. Then we can transfer this adult form into the sea. Okay, he placing the oyster in that cage. You can see small form of oyster there. This is a little bit larger. Okay, after transferring into sea, it will grow into a large size, little more large in size. Now we are going to rising the oyster. That means here what they are doing is they are actually removing small parasite from their shells. Okay, small barnacles or small shellfish will be there, and they will remove that parasites for better health of the oyster, for maintaining the better health of the oysters. And this is the difference. In textbook you studied that small hanging ropes are there, and we will attach the അല്ലെങ്കിൽ that oysters will attach to that rope, but here they use a cage, hanging cage from the raft. Next one is about implantation. We have to adjust the oyster for the implantation. Okay, we will take that box. Here we will take the oyster from the substratum, that is a rope. But here they use a cage, a small box. Then we can actually open the oyster by using a small wedge or something like that. But here they use a different technique, that when the oyster naturally open their shell, they will place a stopper there. You can see he placing a stopper in between the shell. Yes, and this is more easier, and it will not harm the oyster, because when we open the oyster by using a wedge, it will cause so many health issues to the oyster. And then he sacrificed another oyster for taking mantle tissue. Okay, he cutting the mantle tissue from the oyster, and he will make into small pieces. I think it is 2 mm. It's 2 mm. Okay, and he will cut this mantle tissue into small pieces. It's 2 mm. Then he will stain this mantle tissue for visibility. Then So we actually prepared the tissue. Next one we have to prepare the nucleus. So we use shells for preparing nucleus. So they will cut this shell and make into small round pieces. Okay, and we use the small round pieces for the implantation as a nucleus. We can use different size or different shape for that's depend on what we need, what kind of pearl we need, or what size of pearl we need. Okay, this is implantation. They're carefully opening the oyster. These are tool they used for the operation, and they're actually opening very carefully. They're opening the oyster. You can see how they open the shells, and they are just piercing the gonad and placing the mantle tissue there. Okay, he taking the mantle tissue and they are placing inside the gonad. Then next one is nucleus that he insert into the region, that is in gonadal region. Then he closed the oyster, then allow next process is called resting, placing in the cage, and this they place this oyster after implantation into this cage and allow to rest in calm water. This is an additional step. They are actually checking the implantation is proper or not. You can see they are ejecting the improper oyster separately. Okay, next one is cultivation. They are placing in small net and transfer this oyster into the sea. Now again there will be parasites or small barnacles will be there. So they are removing it by using a machine, or they can also remove them by hand. Large barnacles or parasite they can also remove by hand. In this case they use a washing machine. High pressure water will remove the parasites from the oyster. Okay, now they are cleaning the oyster by using their hand. You can see how they do that cleaning. They're removing soft, small shells. Then again they place in the sea. Not sea, actually this is a small area. Then now they are taking into sea. That is migration. That means they take the oyster into sea. They are placing them into a raft. They are hang them in the raft. You can see here. The difference is that now you studied that the oysters attached to the rope, but here they use a cage system, a small box here. Okay, and you can see small bubbles. That means the oyster start breathing. Then harvesting. After when it attain a marketable size, not marketable size, we know they know after some time it will take years. They know how much time will take to form pearl. At that time they will take the oyster, then they just open the shell using that knife. Then they separate the flesh, abductor muscle. Abductor muscles are very sharp. Sharp means they are very strong. They use that abductor muscle for the preparation of sashimi in Japan. You can see that this is the adductor muscle. Okay, these are our product pearl. He is washing it separately. There will be good quality pearl, bad quality pearl. There are so many grades of pearl, and they will sort them according to the quality. Okay, you can see pearl there. He is opening and taking the pearl. This is harvesting. Okay, this is about the pearl oyster culturing system. Thank you.